preserved my youth. Not only did it capture my goals, it told me the truth.
Conversate for a few, cause in a few.
I let them know we missing you. The love is unconditional.
Wave your hands once a land and we family.
We got a world premiere right here, now get lost.
So off we go, let the trumpets blow. And hold on, because the driver of the mission is a pro.
Yeah. Maybe not as much as in the groups, but maybe more so in the solo artist.
So I'm gonna pick your brain, man, just because there's not a lot of times I get to talk to an actual music expert. And you brought up Isaac Hayes, and I just got back from Memphis. I was in Memphis 2 weeks ago. And I always tell people that if you want to go to a museum that discusses music, in my opinion, the Stax Museum is the best curated museum for Black music. So I compare it to, you have the Stax Museum, you have Motown in Detroit, and then if you want to put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, and then you also have, I would put Paisley Park up there as well, right? Prince's old home. To me, I say Stax Museum, Paisley Park, Motown, and then Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Do you agree with that order, or is it something that I'm missing?
You're missing.
Okay, I knew you were going to say I was missing something, but that's why we got you on.
It may not be you, but I don't know if it's still there. Did you go to the Rock and Soul Museum?
Never heard of it.
It's in Memphis.
Now, I've only been to Stax and when you're in Memphis.
Okay, so what happened in 2002, I had a former student move to Memphis, and she knew the lay of the land. So I was in Nashville with some buddies. So we went to the Grand Ole Opry. We did that. The Grand Ole Opry. And then we drove an hour and a half to Memphis, and we did the whole Memphis music tour.
Okay.
And it started with Al Green's church at the time. On a Sunday. We got there on a Sunday, Al Green's church. Then we did Stax. And that was my awakening. I was like, incredible.
Incredible. Yeah.
To hear all those outtakes of Shaft blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then, because we were there, we had to go to Graceland. Okay, we just had to see the other side.
Now, see, I've been to Memphis several times. I have family there. I think I have driven by just so I could see it because it's pink, right? So I could just say I saw Graceland, but there was no way in hell that I was going to give them my money to go inside.
We went to Graceland because we had to be fair because it was music, right? So we did it. But the one thing I didn't know about was the Rock and Soul Museum.
Okay.
It's because we went to the Rock and Soul Museum, I kid you not, is when I first learned about Wattstax.
Okay.
It was because
you're talking about the big concert that was in Watt. Yeah.
Because they had a big display.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never heard of this. This was amazing to me. So it's the Rock and Soul Museum. So is it
right next to the Stax Museum?
No, not from what this was like 20 plus years ago.
Okay.
So I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But do I agree with you? Like the first one is the Stax Records Museum? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why? Because if you know about the Stax Museum is important because if you're not like my age, growing up in the 70s, seeing that 45 with that finger snap logo, you don't really understand Stax when you go there and you see Hot Buttered Soul, okay? And you see the plaque with all the records that were sampled because of Stax, okay? And let's not forget, come on, man. How do you not just love that Cadillac with the plush carpet and the TV?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And and again, if somebody were to do their research paper on Isaac Hayes, do you understand how different he was? You've got a bald brother in Afro time. Okay? That's one. A supposedly illiterate brother, when we're all trying to, do our thing and buck the system. But you couldn't read, but you couldn't tell. And then you got a brother winning an Oscar for music. Okay? The significance of him in Memphis is just incredible to me. And that's why when I went there, I was overwhelmed. I literally was overwhelmed. And then I went to Sun Records. Okay? So where they supposedly, discovered Elvis. But there's another part of Sun Records that nobody tells you about, and I can understand why. Because that's where Ike Turner was. And then first started hearing distorted guitar, Sun Records, okay? And then I ended the tour with the Civil Rights Museum.
Yeah.
Tour. When it comes to me, Memphis is a much hipper place in the States musically than like as important as Nashville is, because that was a route that was like a plane route from like Chicago to Memphis.
Right.
That was a thing.
Yep.
Okay. And so if you look at the music that came out of Memphis as a whole, nobody's really talking about that. They talk about Nashville, they talk about New York, they talk about Los Angeles, but they don't really focus on the significance of Memphis, even when it comes to technology.
Talk about the technology.
Tom Dowd, the music of Tom Dowd, Atlantic Records. He invented the what we call the linear fader. You see what a mixing console, when we move the faders, he invented that. That's out of Memphis, man, because all the faders everything was a knob. You just turned the knob. So that's significant. Tom Dowd, D-O-W-D. He's a white gentleman, did music, but what happened, he got drafted, and then he went to Columbia University, right? And while he was there, he had to work on the atom bomb. It's a funny story. And then when he got out of the service and he went to teach, he says, "You guys are teaching physics wrong." You know how gangster you got to be to tell somebody, "Now look, I just worked on the atomic bomb, and what you guys are teaching is wrong." Okay. And so then he's significant in the Aretha Franklin thing, the whole thing, Atlantic Records. And so what I'm saying is Memphis is different.
For sure.
It's different musically. It's just a different hang. And I agree with you on the Elvis thing. I just had to see it for myself so that I could talk about it as a musicologist.
Yeah. As a musicologist, I can understand you wanting to do that.
Yeah.
So you talked a lot about the art. I could tell the artistry of music really matters to you. So you know about the artistry, you know about the technology that goes with it, that makes it happen. Are we getting away from the artistry because of technology and because of the commercialization of our music? Because I look at music just like I look at like basketball and football. We are the product, but somebody else is in control of the distribution. So in my mind, I think, why do we need them? They need us.
You don't.
They need us. So if you had your way, how will we get back to the point where the artistry mattered more than what's commercial and what can sell records? Well, not even sell records anymore, right? The downloads and the streams, or what can spin on the radio. How do we get back to the artistry?
But I saw a thing. I was watching a video, and the guy was talking about, why do people go to music school anymore? And then all the comments, "Hey, I didn't go to music school. I play and I gig every weekend and stuff like that. Anything I needed to learn musically, I could just watch on YouTube." Oh my gosh. That's worse than when people say, when they blame parents for letting the Cartoon Network be their babysitter.
Mhm.
Okay? Right? You cannot substitute one-on-one learning in person. If you take guitar lessons from me, I have to be able to touch your hand and adjust your hand. You can't 2D that. Okay? I feel, however, technology can be useful because Lord knows, I don't know how you feel, but Lord knows if your band is playing at 10 o'clock at night, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
But if you stream it, I will pay you $10 to access the stream. I will support you. 10 o'clock at night? Are you nuts? Man,
You telling on yourself with your age right there, right?
I
Because
am not going out.
listen. If it's that late, or if I have to struggle to find parking, I'm not going.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to support somebody who I do support. I only support one person from she said, I'm going on at 7. And I said, bet. I'll go at 7. I'll be out of there by 8:30 though.
Yeah.
Because that's like me leaving school, okay? The technology is good, but my thing is, do we need a label today? We don't. But are we going to patronize and support somebody?
I think the new label is the distribution platforms, though. Like when I look at the content that I put out with my podcast, right? I have 3 different podcasts. And I look at the people that I have on, the guests that I have on, the things that we talk about. Yes, there's people who have invested more heavily into the equipment that they use, into the stage, the studios that they use, right? But if you pay the providers to, hey, listen, I'm going to put out this reel of a clip to promote my show, but it's only going to show to a select few people. And if I pay a certain amount of money, then my friends will be able to see it. All of my friends will be able to see it. If I pay more, then it expands its reach. So the access to be able to reach the masses, in theory, should be easier. But these platforms have still put a roadblock on to be able to make sure that they make their money as well. And I look at a lot of music podcasts, and a lot of them break down the business behind the music. And you look at, okay, here's your advance. And then it's like, okay, you get an advance. And most people say your advance is the only one that you're going to see off of your record, because they have royalties, they have mechanical royalties, there's all different type of things where you have to recoup the advance to come out. And the way they do the accounting, unless you're able to pay a forensic accountant to be able to look at it and find out, okay, how are you guys coming up with this math, and why hasn't this person recouped the advance yet to where they're making money? You're not going to get anything.
Reminds me of that clip of that woman not realizing how much she didn't pay for her car. Yeah. Right, that famous clip. I paid all this money. You only paid $5,000. Okay, clueless because she don't read. There is still in music contract today a record breakage average. You like on delivery, we expect that we're going to lose, I don't know, 1,000 records. So we got to take that out of your budget. We got to recoup what we think we're going to lose. That's still in there.
And they're not even selling records like that anymore.
It's still in there. A lot of people don't get that. Okay. And again, I watched an incredible documentary on like an R&B rap group, and how they use their Spotify analytics to see where their music is most popular, and that's where they went to tour. They didn't just sit around. And they did the same thing when they went to Europe. That's where the technology is smart. And finally, I went to an ASCAP meeting. You know what ASCAP is? You know, the music licensing agency.
Mhm.
It was a while ago. Had a panel, famous people, you know, in there. Guy stood up and asked a question. He said, hey, look, my group sold 40,000 units. So they were talking about CDs at the time. And you guys still won't put us on. What does it take for you guys? What do we have to do to get you guys to put us on? And the gentleman on the panel said it to this day. I'll never forget it. He says, if you sold 40,000 units, you don't need us.
Very true.
It stayed with me. If you sold 40,000 units, you don't need us. Never get it. And he's right. He was right. Depends on what you're trying to roll. Are you trying to get in advance so you can get a car? Are you trying to get in advance so you can buy more gear? Or are you just trying to put out music? So sometimes the artist, what does the artist want?
Yeah.
They're still hung up on some studio romance.